So what's going on, guys? I'm Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another Zombies Q&A on the channel, the series where I take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and I answer them. As always, if you go into enjoy today's video, drop a like rated if you want to. Don't forget to subscribe, but let's get into this. Here we go, and enjoy. So the first question of the day is from Mr. Killsalot, and you say, "Hey BOA, do you think it's a coincidence that Requiem and Omega know the name of the Dark Ether? Because it's exactly what it was called before." And this is true. In Black Ops Cold War, we only have two characters that carried on from our previous universe. Those were Samantha and Eddie. We haven't seen Eddie, only Samantha, but the Ether, or shall I say the Dark Ether, the name of it is the same as what it was called in our previous zombie story. So how would the characters in Cold War know the name of the Dark Ether? How would they know what it was called previously? Like I said, the only characters that would know this are Samantha or Eddie. Samantha has memory loss. There are things she can't remember. It could be that she was the one who told Requiem about the Dark Ether. Maybe that's part of her memory that isn't missing, but judging by things she says, how she doesn't understand it, I feel like the Dark Ether is something Samantha forgot about. So how have our characters in Cold War given it the name the Dark Ether when it's the exact same name that it was given in the previous zombie story before Black Ops 4? As you say, is it just a coincidence? I don't think so. It's a very specific name. Also how they gave the name to Ethereum. The Germans called it Exo-Element 1, but as you can hear from this radio, Requiem called it Ethereum.
This energy source, the Germans called it Exo-Element 1. I call it by its proper name, Ethereum. It has the potential to revolutionize the world in ways we cannot possibly comprehend. I will understand these crystals, and I will learn the how and when to utilize it. I hope, if nothing else, you can appreciate that. All I ask is that if you let me do my job, I will let you do yours. There's no need to be enemies. In fact, one day I hope we can work together, side by side. Perhaps we will even consider each other comrades. Just do not expect a warm hug when you return from your missions.
I was sure when I first read this question that there was a radio that explained more about this, but I've gone through all of the intel several times to try and find it, and I can't see anything. So the only answers I can possibly think of is 1, it is a coincidence, although for me that's very far-fetched, or 2, either Samantha or Eddie must have told someone about the dimension and what its name is. The next question of the day from Connor Hill says, "I've seen a loading screen from Black Ops 2 where the Tranzit crew were on a pirate ship, but why wasn't that a map?" Okay, I know exactly what you're on about, and this is really interesting. If you want to check this out for yourself, I will link it down in the description. But for all of the cartoon style loading screens that we got for Black Ops 2, so that would be Die Rise and Buried, it was actually a couple of different artists that did the drawings for those cutscenes. There are a bunch of them which I'll show you, but posted on this website they say, "Here is the artwork Sebastian, Vague and myself did together for Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies Buried game. We did provide Activision with all of the frames to let them animate the intro cinematic of the DLC." So it was 3 different artists that actually created these drawings, and then they sent them into Activision, into Treyarch, where they animated these drawings and used them to create the cutscenes. These ones I'm about to show you are just for Buried, but we also had animated cutscenes for D-Machine, and then later on in Alpha Omega and Tag Toten. So just going through them, most of these you will recognise. Some look slightly different. In most cases for the intro, Treyarch have zoomed in, so here on the original artwork we get to see a wider view. And bear in mind as well, Treyarch would have told these artists exactly what to draw, the locations, what they want the characters doing, what things they should draw in the background. So for example on this one we have our characters fighting in a city. This could be Die Rise, or it could be a different setting. It's interesting to see on ones like this, where Misty looks very, very angry. It's the same for Stuhlinger. These are scenes that we don't see used in the actual cutscene, so obviously these were cut from the final version. We also have Victus on the transit bus. Here again, they're in another city. This time this one's flooded. As far as I can tell, this isn't one of our zombies maps. It's definitely not Buried. Maybe it's Die Rise. We don't get to see what the lower ground looks like. Maybe the lower ground of Die Rise was flooded, or this could be a different location the transit crew went to. We just didn't get it as a map. Remember that they took that massive trip from Die Rise, which is in China, all the way to Buried, which is Angola, Africa. They didn't teleport from Die Rise to Buried, they walked. It actually took them over 2 months. So during that time, of course, they would have come across different locations. This flooded city could have been one of the places they went. But the most interesting drawing out of the bunch is this one, our transit crew on a pirate ship. This isn't one of our zombies maps, but remember, Treyarch would have told these artists what to draw. Now this one wasn't used in any of the cutscenes. For some reason Treyarch decided not to use it, but Victus very well could have gone on the ship on their journey between Die Rise and Buried. Maybe they didn't walk all of the way, and partway they took this ship through the ocean. This would have made for an epic zombies map. Who knows, maybe the reason Treyarch told them to draw this is because they were planning on making this into a map. I don't know, that's just an idea, but from the looks of it, I think it's very, very cool. We have had Voyage of Despair, personally not one of my favourite maps. It was very tight. This pirate looking ship would have been a lot smaller, so maybe it would have been docked up and we could have gone on land as well. It's not something that's going to happen now, but if it did, I think it would have been very cool. So yeah, those were a bunch of drawings for the cutscenes. I can imagine there are tons more for Tag, Alpha, Die Rise. The Die Rise and Draka intro was animated like this as well. So yeah, a cool take. Let me know what you guys think about these in the comment section below. The next question, well, I guess it's not really a question, but I just found it funny from Peter Wilson, where you say, I actually feel bad for Dr. Maxis. He just can't get a break, dies in one way or another in all of the timelines. And thinking about it, it's true. Dr. Maxis died in Origins when Richtofen killed him and then cut open his skull. He also died in Revelations where he got sucked inside of the summoning key and then flew into the Apothecan Sun. He was also killed by Dr. Monty in Alpha Omega. He also killed himself on Moon. He shot himself where his soul then went inside of the computer systems. And then he also died in Buried. Well, really it was in the old dimension, but at the end of the Origins Easter egg, when Monty brought Maxis's brain to the house, he then wiped the corrupted version of Maxis from existence. That corrupted version was the one we saw at the end of Buried. So 5 different times, just from what I can remember, I'm pretty sure that's all of them, Maxis has died. Surely that's going to be more than any other character. I actually kind of feel bad for the guy. The next question from Angus McMillan says, Hey BO8, what's your highest round on any zombies game? Love your content. So I'm pretty sure my highest round is 50, and that's on purpose, by the way. You know, I haven't died. I could go past that. But round 50 for me just feels like the perfect number. Honestly, when you get past round 25, 30, zombies gets kind of boring. You've pretty much done everything there is to do in the game. You should have everything pack-a-punched and upgraded. So past that point, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And for me personally, it's not really my thing. I'm more of a story person. I play campaign games, not too much multiplayer games or zombies. I do the Easter egg and that's it. So round 50 is definitely enough for me. I think that's the highest I've gotten on a few maps. Mob of the Dead, Buried. I can't remember if I did it on Firebase C. I have on D Machine and a couple of other maps. Not all of them, but high rounds just isn't for me. Honestly, I don't really play zombies. The last time I properly did for fun, I would say, was BO2. I prefer story games, to be honest. I do occasionally play Rocket League though. Anyway guys, there we go. That is it. That is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.